Elias Ward never thought intergalactic diplomacy would involve dating apps. He was an Earth-born linguistics officer stationed aboard the UNS Concordia, a massive diplomatic vessel orbiting the planet Cyralis Prime. After the long and bloody war between humanity and the Ceralians ended 5 years ago, the treaty established a fragile peace. But peace didn't ensure trust. Hence, the Terran-Ceralian Cultural Exchange Program, or what most soldiers referred to as the Galactic Bachelor Project. Elias signed up for the program more out of boredom than any real desire to mingle with a race humanity once called enemies. But someone somewhere decided a romantic match would do more to repair interspecies relationships than any treaty or political summit. He'd filled out the required questionnaires, uploaded a diplomatic profile, and gone back to work. Then she showed up. Her name was Lysra Vex, a Ceralian female, tall, lithe, with crystalline violet skin that shimmered faintly under the lights and eyes like twin nebulae. Elias had never met a Ceralian face-to-face before. They were otherworldly, beautiful in a way that made you want to look away and stare at the same time. And she smirked the moment she walked into the human quarter. "You have been matched with me, human," she said, with a voice like silk wrapped around steel. "Your romantic duties begin now." Elias blinked, unsure whether to laugh or flee. "Sorry. My what begins now?" Lysra's smirk widened. "I was assigned a human mate through your primitive matching system. Congratulations, Elias Ward. I chose you." "You chose me," he echoed. "Yes, I studied your answers. I find your sarcasm and overuse of caffeine appealing. You will now accompany me to my quarters. We begin the courtship phase immediately." Elias sighed. "And if I refuse?" She tilted her head. "Then I will inform the council that human males are cowardly and incapable of emotional bonding. Your choice, mate." Middle. Elias quickly learned that Ceralian romantic duties did not involve dinner and a movie. Their culture prioritized emotional transparency, physical proximity, and deep philosophical debates as methods of bonding. Within the first day, Lysra had dragged Elias into a Ceralian meditation dome, challenged him to a debate about the ethics of human space colonization, and then stared into his eyes for 30 uninterrupted minutes to sync bioluminal rhythms. It was intense. But Elias was nothing if not adaptable. Years of studying alien languages taught him to observe before reacting. And so he listened. He paid attention. And slowly, beneath the strange customs and smug smirks, he saw something more in Lysra. She was brilliant, not just academically but emotionally. Her teasing was deliberate. She wanted to see if he could match her, word for word, step for step. And so he gave as good as he got. When she smirked, he smirked back. When she pushed him intellectually, he pushed harder. Over meals, Ceralian nutrient paste for her, steak rations for him. They argued about literature, compared music from their respective worlds, and even danced once. Ceralian dancing was mostly intricate hand movements and long, sweeping steps. She taught him on the observation deck beneath the soft shimmer of a twin-moon sky. "I admit," she said one night, "you are more tolerable than I expected." "High praise," Elias replied. "Is that your version of a love confession?" "Hardly. But you've survived 3 days without crying, panicking, or calling me a cold alien monster. That puts you in the 95th percentile." They laughed together, a strange, growing harmony. But not everything was easy. Their bond drew attention. Other humans avoided Elias, some out of discomfort, others jealousy. The Ceralians whispered that Lysra had lowered herself by bonding with a Terran. Then came the news that changed everything. The Earth Ceralian Council proposed advancing the program, If a human and Cyralian couple could complete the unity trials, a series of ancient Cyralian tests used to solidify sacred bonds, their success would symbolize full trust between species, a union of minds, a gesture to end all gestures. And Elias and Lysera, the most stable couple, were nominated. They had 72 hours to accept. "You're unusually quiet," Lysera said, as they sat on the edge of the observation platform. Elias stared at the stars. "I'm thinking. Dangerous for humans, I hear." He chuckled, but it faded. "Do you ever worry that we're pretending? That maybe this whole bonding thing is a performance?" Lysera's expression softened, losing its usual sharp edge. "I worried, yes, first. But then I found myself thinking of you between meetings, listening for your footsteps, anticipating your sarcasm." She paused, her hand brushing his. "In Cyralian culture, we don't smile like humans. But when I look at you, my core feels warmer, brighter. I think perhaps this match was not so accidental." Elias turned to her. "Then let's do it. Trials. Together." She raised a brow. "Are you certain?" "No," he said. "But I'd rather fail with you than succeed alone." Climax. The unity trials were held in an ancient Cyralian temple, floating crystalline halls orbiting a dead star. The tests were equal parts mental, emotional, and spiritual. The first trial tested truth. They had to endure a mental projection where their deepest fears were made manifest. For Elias, it was failure. Watching Earth burn, hearing that he'd betrayed his people by falling for an alien. He stood paralyzed in the dreamscape until Lysera's voice pierced the illusion. "You are not your fears, Elias," she said. "I see your soul. It does not belong to anyone but you." Her presence shattered the fear. For Lysera, the vision was rejection, her people turning on her. Her father, a revered general, calling her a traitor. Elias held her hand, speaking words that felt truer than any oath. "They can't see what I see. But I do. I choose you. Alien, stubborn, brilliant you." The illusion crumbled. The second trial was the labyrinth of memory. They had to walk through shared memories, but the path only opened when they spoke the truth of what the moment meant to the other. They remembered the first time Elias made Lysera laugh. The first time she saw him cry during a Terran folk song. Every step demanded honesty, vulnerability. It was painful, but they walked it together. The final trial was the fire of melding, an ancient energy field that bonded souls, or destroyed them if they were not truly aligned. They stood together in the swirling flames. "I'm scared," Elias admitted, voice raw. Lysera took his hand, her expression stripped of all her usual bravado. "So am I. But I would rather burn beside you than shine without you." And then they stepped forward. The fire engulfed them, and it did not consume. Instead, the flames turned violet and blue, wrapping around them like a cocoon. For one heartbeat, they saw each other completely. Memories, thoughts, pain, joy. Everything shared. Everything open. And then the fire faded. They were still standing. Life. Together. Ending. News of their success spread across systems like solar wind. The image of a human and a Cyralian, arms around one another, standing amidst the embers of the unity fire, became an instant symbol. The council declared the unity trials completed. Terran-Cyralian relations were elevated to full diplomatic harmony. Elias and Lysera were offered honorary ambassadorships. They declined.